Hello everyone, welcome to Auto All About. So for today's video, we have the 2021 Haval H9. Now, Haval is the SUV and crossover brand of Great Wall Motors from China, and the H9 is the mid-size SUV, a 7-seater mid-size SUV from Haval, which is completely redesigned for the model year 2021. Now, the H9 is the largest SUV produced by the brand, and it goes in competition with the other Chinese SUVs like the MG RX-8, the Maxus D90 and the GAC GS8, etc. The H9 was debuted in 2014, and by 2021 the brand has given a complete redesign to the car, and this is a fully loaded version of the H9 which comes with a lot of safety features and comfortable features. So in today's video we will have a full in-depth look at the H9 along with a test drive. So let's take a look at the exterior first. Now the front end design is pretty minimal and simple. At the same time, it goes on a muscular design on the sides. In the center we can see there is a large chromium grille along with a Haval logo, and there is a front facing camera, part of the 360-degree camera system. There are parking sensors given on the front side, and there are fog lamps located at the bottom, and the headlights are completely LED with a daytime running lamp at the bottom which works as an indicator lamp as well. Beautiful design. On the top, on the hood, we can see there are some fake vents given here, and on the windshield we can see there is a camera, part of the line keep assist system and the forward collision warning, etc. Now coming towards the sides, the wheels are 265 series along with 18-inch alloy wheels. On the side we can see there is a Haval logo given here on the side with some design elements, and the mirrors are two-tone here with a piano black on the bottom and the body color on the top with an LED indicator lamp and a camera. Now this is the side profile of the car. The door handles are finished in two-tone with a chromium on the top and body color on the other sides. There's a chromium element given all around the windows here, and the pillars are finished in piano black. At the bottom we can see there is a chromium element given, and we have a power deploying running board as well for easy entry and exit. On the roof we have an aluminum roof rail given along with a shark fin antenna on the back side. There's a small spoiler given here along with the high mounted stop lamp. There's a rear wiper also available, and the spare tire is mounted on the back side. For the last year's model it was moved back to the bottom of the car, and Haval is bringing back the design again. And on the spare tire we can see in the center there is a rear view camera along with a Haval logo given here. The Haval H9 writing is again given on the other side of the door, and the handle is located on that side as well. Again another Haval logo is given on the number plate holder. At the bottom we have some parking sensors along with some fog lamps, and the exhaust is given on the right side. There's a trailer connection facility available which is hidden inside here, along with the power supply for the trailer given at the bottom. The rear lights has got a vertical design here, which is a combination of LED and incandescent lights. Overall, it's a very muscular look, and it is pretty good for an SUV of this size. The fuel filler cap is given on the left side. The car has got pretty good ground clearance and approach angles here, along with enough gap between the wheel arches and the tires, which increases the off-road capabilities of the car. The car has got a double wishbone suspension on the front along with a multi-link on the rear side. Comes along with an intelligent four-wheel drive system. Now before heading inside, let's take a look at the key fob of the car. Here is the key fob of the new H9. There is a Haval logo given on the back side, and on the front side we have a button for unlock and the rear trunk opening. There is a lock button, and there is another button given for the panic along with the remote start. So when the car is locked, press and hold the remote start button to start the engine. So the car does come with a keyless entry system. There is a lock button given on top of the door handle. Press that to lock the car, and there is a sensor on the back side of the door. Hold it to unlock the car. Door is almost 90-degree opening kind of a door with multi layers of finishes here. On the top we have some injection molded plastic soft touch finish with some wooden inserts, and at the bottom we can see there is a diamond cut finish with a leather wrapped element. And here we have the window controls. All 4 windows comes along with the automatic up and down function. There is a mirror control given here along with a scroll lock button, and there is a fuel filler cap release button also given at the bottom side. There is a nice amount of storage space also available, and we can see there is a speaker from Infinity. The sound system is provided by Infinity in this car, which is a very good one, and there is a warning light for the blind spot monitoring system as well. There is an illuminated Haval logo given on the door sills. Now taking a look at the interior of the H9. The car has got a multi-tone interior finish in this particular model. Now talking about the seat itself, this is a very luxurious and comfortable seats here. Comes with a diamond cut design. The seats are heated, ventilated, and comes along with the massage function. It is fully power adjustable from here, and the lumbar adjustments are given through the infotainment system. There's a 3% memory settings available. It's a very comfortable seat. The front portion of the seat can be adjusted manually. So let's take a step inside and have a detailed look at the remaining interior. So here is the look at the interior of the all-new Haval H9. The overall interior is finished in a very luxurious manner. As we have seen in the seats, the same luxurious feel continues all around the car. Now everywhere here we can feel the soft touch materials. There is a nice wooden finish given in the middle of the dashboard. At the bottom we have some hard touch plastic here. On the center we have this beautiful 8-inch infotainment system and the center console controls here, which will come in details in a moment. So let's take a look at the interior from the left side. We have the headlight controls given on the left side. The headlights are completely automatic with a high beam assist function. The high beam assist can be turned on and off from this button. Front and rear fog lamp controls are also given in the lighting control stack. Now on the left side of the steering column we have the cruise control settings. The car comes along with the adaptive cruise control. So this is the off position of the cruise control, and along with the on or set or release button are given here. And there is another stack for the indicator lamp. On the right side we have the controls for the fully automatic wipers. Now the steering wheel itself is heated and comes along with the manual tilt and telescopic functions. The heated steering wheel function can be turned on from this button. And on the left side of the steering column we have the media controls, and on the right side we have the Bluetooth answer buttons and the controls for the instrument panel. Horn given on the center. The car comes along with front and side curtain airbags. The instrument panel here is a fully digital one. On the right side we have the fuel gauge. On the left side we have the engine temperature, and the speedometer is given in the center with a multifunction display in the center, which can be configured using these buttons. Here there is a scroll kind of a button along with the select button here. Unfortunately on this particular model these functions are being locked for now. And now coming towards the central control stack. On the top we have a small display which shows the altitude, the pressure and the direction along with the car inclination angle, and the seatbelt warnings also will be shown on this portion. And on the top we have a speaker, part of the Infinity surround sound audio system. The car comes with a 9-speaker audio system from Infinity, which I felt very good. Now coming towards the center console itself, there is a piano black finish given in the center with a Haval logo, and there is an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. Now once we turn on the infotainment system, this is the default home screen of the system, and there are multiple tabs to select from, which is such as the phone, Apple CarPlay, car settings, another settings button and the HVAC controls. Now the phone is a basic Bluetooth phone. Once in this menu, we can see the same functions are available at the bottom also as different tabs. We have the radio tab here with the multiple options to choose and store these stations, and the AM FM selection can also be done from the top. There is another media screen which plays the Bluetooth audio or video and picture from any USB devices which is attached. Then we have the Apple CarPlay, which will work once the phone is connected to the system. There's a car settings tab which has got multiple different tabs on the top. The first one being the IntelliDrive, which controls the forward collision warning, the line keep assist, the rear cross traffic alert, etc. Then there is a drive settings which controls specific car functions such as the parking assist system on off and the door unlock lock mode, the steering mode, emergency brake flash, etc, etc. Then there is a comfort tab which controls the seat settings. If you click on the seat settings, we have 4 controls for the driver and 4 controls for the co-pilot. So on the driver side, we can see there is a seat heating function which has got 3 levels. Then we have a seat cooling function again with the 3 levels. Then there is a seat massage function. 2 levels of massage is available on this particular model. And then there is a lumbar adjustment. We have multiple levels of lumbar adjustments given here to choose from. Same adjustments are applicable for the passenger seat as well, which is a very nice feature. Then there is an electric pedal function which is basically moves the driver's seat backwards for an easy entry and exit of the car. Once we are inside and starting the car, the seat will go back to the previously set position. Then we have the auto folding mirror controls, the front wiper swing frequency. Then there are some multiple lighting controls available here. The park assist function controls are available also here. Then we have the car statistics, which shows the temperature of the coolant, the transmission fluid and the battery status. Then we have the settings tab, which controls again multiple functions. On the left side we have the selection between the Apple CarPlay or iPod. Then we have the Bluetooth controls. Then we have the car time settings, the display settings, from which we can control the brightness of this particular screen, and we can select between classic and fashion themes along with the multiple colors, except blue, gold and red color themes. There is wallpaper settings also available here, and the standby interface also can be selected from this particular screen. Then we have the volume settings, in which we have the sound effects control available. Here we have the equalizer controls for the bass, mid and the treble, and the surround sound can be turned on and off from this particular area, along with other multiple volume level controls. Then we have a general tab which shows the system information of the infotainment system. Then we have the HVAC tab. Here we have the controls for the front and rear HVAC system. The car comes with a triple zone AC. Currently we have the zone mode selected, which enables to control all 3 zones from the driver side itself. Now if you want to control the rear side, simply press the rear from here and we can put the rear AC in auto, or desired temperature can be selected from here. And now coming below, we have 2 knobs for the volume and the tuning button, and next and previous buttons are given here, along with a home tab and the settings button for a quick access. The hazard button control is also given in the center. At the bottom we have another set of controls for the car AC. Moving below, we have another set of controls here which controls some of the key functions of the car. On the left side we have a button to bring the 360-degree camera system. Now the car comes with a very good camera system from Haval, which uses ultra clear cameras all around. Here even it comes along with a 3D function, using which we can view the car from multiple angles. A very good system from Haval. Now after that we have a button to turn off the stability control, then the hill descent control on button. Then there is another button which is a shortcut to bring the car IntelliDrive system settings. Then we have the auto start stop turn on and off button. Now there is another button for the electronic differential lock function of the car. Moving down in the center stack, we have a wooden finish given along with the leather on each sides. We have a 12-volt power supply, and there is a closable center cup holders with a nice storage space for the mobile phones. And at the bottom we have the drive mode selected given here, which comes along with the auto, sport, sand, mud and snow functions, which can be selected from this button, and it will be displayed at the same time on the instrument panel as well as the infotainment system. Then we have the electronic parking brake and auto hold buttons are here. Eco mode can be selected from this button. There is a 4-wheel low range gear available for this particular model. It's a very good function for off-roaders. And there is another button which Haval calls the cross country cruise control. That is basically a cruise control when the car runs in the 4-wheel low mode. So suppose you are doing an off-road and you want to run the car in a constant speed, simply put the cross country cruise control on, and that's it. Then the next button is the automatic parking function. The car comes with the automatic parking function. Simply press this button and follow the instruction on the screen to park the car automatically. So the first step will be to press the automatic parking button and select park in or park out. Here we are taking the park in option, and put the indicator to the side on which you have to parallelly park the car, and drive the car on a very slow speed while the car is detecting the available parking space. And once you have reached a proper parking space, the car will ask you to apply the brake, and then press and hold the parking button for 2 seconds. Then the car will do the rest of the job automatically. Now you can see the car steers and goes in reverse by itself. And this is a fully automatic parking system in which we don't even need to change the gear from park or drive to reverse. Everything will be done by the car automatically. And once the car is parked, it will ask to take us the control and switch off the engine. The gear lever is kind of an electronic one with a park button on the center, and the reverse or the drive can be selected in this way. If we press it further down, the car will go to the manual mode. Then we can use the steering mounted paddle shifters to control the gear shift. We have a fairly large glove box available here, and another handy function is the control of the passenger seat from the driver's side itself, which is also a very good feature. And now talking about the center storage area, which is pretty big one, along with 2 USB ports and one 12-volt power outlet. And at the bottom we can see there is a space where we keep the key fob in case it runs out of charge. So now taking a look at the top side, which is finished in a beige cloth finish. On the center we have a light bar running here, which is part of the mode lighting system, which can be turned on and off and controlled over here. We can select multiple colors from these buttons, and there is touch sensitive buttons for the interior lighting of the car. And there is a control for the fully panoramic sunroof, which can be selected into multiple levels using these controls. If you press it once again, it opens completely. You can use these controls here to control the shade of the car. There are sun visors with some extenders available, along with some illuminated vanity mirrors. There are grab handles given for the driver and passenger. Now that's it about the front side. We will have a look at the rear space of the car now. So when we open the rear door, we have again the running boards to climb in. The doors are finished in a similar way of the front one, along with 2 speakers, part of the surround sound audio system with some storage spaces. There is another window control given, which is again fully automatic up and down one. And here is a look at the rear seat of the H9, similarly finished as the front one with 2-stage heating. Let's move inside. So once we are inside the rear space, we have plenty of room here. Now the front seats are set into my position. I am 6 feet tall, and still I am having a very good amount of leg space here, and a pretty decent headroom as well. Now taking a look at the features in the rear side. In the center, we have a control for the automatic rear AC with the 2-level heating controls. At the bottom, we have some storage space along with another 12-volt power supply and a USB outlet given here. There are some storage pockets given on the back side of the front seats. We have a center armrest along with 2 cup holders in the center. On the top, we have some grab handles, touch controls for the lights, and the AC vents are given on the top. And here is a look towards the front end from the rear seats. It's time to take a look at the third row spacing of the car. Entering the third row will be easier from the right side of the car. Here we have a grab handle given, which we will pull to recline the front seats, and then we can use the grab handle to move it towards the front. Not an easy job to climb inside. So once we are inside, as you can see, when the middle row is comfortable, the third row is not that good for adults, but it is perfect for children with adequate leg space and some cup holders, along with some adjustable rear headrests. There is separate reading lamps given for the rear as well, along with some touchscreen controls, and there are separate AC vents also available for the third row passengers. Let's take a look at the trunk space now. Pretty wide open trunk here. There's a first aid box and the tools given on the door itself. When we are looking at the rest, when the third row is up, this much is the storage space available, with a liftable, with another short storage along with the jack at the bottom. Now the seats are electronically retractable, so in order to fold the third row seats, we can simply press on these buttons here, and to bring it back we can use the other button. Pretty handy features. And also there is a household 220-volt power supply also available, which is also a very good feature. The emergency access to the fuel filler gap is given on the left side of the third row seats. And with the third row folder, we are getting adequate storage space for a 7-seater SUV of this size. Let's take a look at the engine compartment now. Now the car comes standard with a 2-liter engine from Haval. It's a turbocharged unit, 4-cylinder, producing around 230 horsepower with 380 Newton meters of torque, which is mated to an 8-speed automatic gearbox from ZF. So we'll drive the car and see how the engine performs. So now driving the H9, the first feeling is the car is pretty refined and the transmission is really smooth. The power delivery is adequate, similar to all the other Chinese competitors. The engine we can rate as somewhat the similar one. And the cabin is somewhat well acoustically insulated, so the road noise is pretty much reduced here. And the suspension system also, the double wishbone on the front and the multi-link in the rear, does a very good job. Now let's put it into sport mode and see how the engine performs. That was a 0 to 100, does it in a very quick way in the sport mode. The car handles very well, which the car runs on a body on frame platform like many other SUVs. We can feel, because of the height of the vehicle, we can feel a minor body roll sometimes, but still it's managed in a very good way. The engine noise level is also very well insulated. We don't feel much of engine noise. Even in full high throttle times, we cannot feel that much of engine noise inside. That is a pretty good thing about such a large vehicle. Now the must talk items here are the safety features which Haval provides at this price point. The car is priced at around 130,000 dirhams here in UAE, and in this price point we are getting a lot of features which no one else in the segment can provide, such as the lane keep assist, the forward collision warning, and the adaptive cruise control. Even with the automatic braking system, the car does a very good job on the road, and the handling is made really easy. We can see the car takes the control easily even without my hands on the steering wheel. That is not advisable, though. I'm just showing it for demonstration purpose only. The car takes the bend on its own, and after a while we will get a warning to keep our hand on the steering wheel. Overall, the lane keep assist and the other safety features works in a very good manner. And also when we are approaching any nearby car in a closer distance, we will get a warning to reduce the speed. Another nice feature. And the comfort level also, the seats are very good actually, along with this cool function and the massage function. The front seat is especially great one. And the infotainment system also, it's a pretty easy to use one, and also responds in a very good manner. And another thing which I loved the most in this car is the audio system. The audio system from Infiniti is a fantastic one. Only the radio reception which I found little less, which does make the radio listening annoying at least sometimes. So overall, the Haval H9 is a pretty good deal for the amount of money, around 130,000, and comparing with the other competitors, the car does give a very good value for money. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and we'll be back with some new videos soon. Till then, take care, drive safe, and goodbye.